1 year ago, a few people in town visited me and asked if I'd ever thought about having a Hall of Fame for the outstanding athletes that have come through San Angelo ISD. And it was, I don't think I even paused before I said yes. Did I, Mr. Peel?
No, you did not pause.
I didn't pause because it is such a worthy and exciting project and will bring great honor to people who deserve it for years to come. And we began by having a get to know each other meeting with some alumni from San Angelo High School and San Angelo Central and from Lakeview High School, and quickly people bought into the concept of honoring people who have been so outstanding in San Angelo. And we have representatives from two committees. We have a group from Lakeview, and your committee. Dan, are you the chair of your committee? Dan Baker, who's also one of our school board members, is the chair, and Ms. Little is on this committee, and both of them are graduates of Lakeview High and very good athletes, I'm told. You don't have to brag on yourself. And then Mr. Peel, Buddy Peel, and a minister at First Baptist Church, who happens to be my minister, Dr. Mark Bumpus, who is a part of this as the expert consultant because you had been a part of the group at Mineral Wells where you were pastor before coming to San Angelo, and had already broken ground, had several years of leading that committee, and what a wealth of information that for all of these decisions that have had to be made, because you've already made prior years some mistakes, and so they don't have to make those mistakes. And the only little disagreement at the first was timing, because I think you all wanted to study this for a while, and I was so excited about it that, as previously talked about before this recording, some of us cracked the whip, and you all just picked up speed, and y'all are gonna pull this off, and already have gone through nomination processes, and have both of the first groups have been chosen and are on these posters that are displayed daily here in our administration office for people to come in, who come into our building, and we have lots of visitors into our building every day. And we will also be able to sell them a ticket or two to these banquets. Now, I've set the foundation, and Mark, why don't you start with giving us a little bit of information about the process that you all have gone through during this 1 year of putting this together.
All right. Well, it is a mammoth project, and we have had a lot of meetings and just a lot of details and groundwork in the background to come to this point. And I think it'll look kind of simple once we have the banquets and the induction ceremonies, but there's just lots of work behind the scenes, and we've got two great committees full of hard workers, and there is a lot of hard work because we have to contact these. We had to go through the voting process, and then once the persons were decided what teams are going to be honored, then they had to be contacted. We sent them what were called biographical data sheets that they filled out, all their information about their athletic accomplishments and other things like that, which helps build information for us to be able to summarize and publicize in any program that we produce, and also for the way we present the inductees that night. And plaques or awards, whatever we come up with that we're going to give that night. So it's been a large project with lots of time invested.
Well, you all, I've noticed, have people on both committees who are detail people, and everyone on both committees wants this done very well, because we're going to continue this, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And people may, I know, have thought, well, I nominated people in our community, someone that didn't make it, and you all received many more applications this first year than were able to make this, but they will be eligible in years to come. What a great thing that there's so many outstanding, not only individual athletes, but teams from both, really from 3 high schools. How about if we start with Lakeview? Dan or Beta, would you tell us a little bit about who your honorees are?
Well, we have 5 individuals. We have Wesley Jennings, which is 1934, and he's a delightful man. He's in track. He went to state in track in 1934, and there's an interesting story about that little process, but and we'll talk about that at the banquet, so you have to come to hear the story.
I'll come.
All right. And then we have Duda McQueen Copic. She was 1953. She was she loved softball, I believe, and that's Beta's personal one that she is in charge of. So each committee member had one individual that they were in charge of, and they'll talk to them. And then we have Rex Wilson, which is 1958, his football, and he was a professor at Sol Ross. It's where we found him. He's retired now, but then we have Linda Wagner Allard, 62. She was basketball, and she played for the Flying Queens, and she did really well there in the Nationals. And then Rocky Woods, he's in 67. He was a great track athlete, and he was Texas A&M. And I believe he's in the Hall of Fame there too, I believe so. And then we have our 1961 team, which is one district, first time Lakeview one district, and then Coach Jerry Sessom was a coach at that time. And so we in our process, we decided on 5 individuals and a team for this first go around, and we also made the decision that we wanted to start around the 60 range and go down as far as we could, and then the next year we'll expand it a little more, but we wanted to catch those first few, and that's the decision process that we went through. So we have talked, each individual has talked to their one that they're in charge of, and they are just so grateful and humble. They're just so humble. That's what gets me, is that about being chosen. Said, "Oh, why did y'all choose me?" Well, you know, we had people that wrote us or talked to us and said that, you know, they're deserving. And I said, most of them were told they were deserving. They just thanked us and thanked us and thanked us, and it's just amazing. And when they send us little letters, they always say, "Thank you so much for this great honor." So we want to make this as nice as possible, just like they are. You know, it's a very great process that we've been through, and it's interesting. We are not close as they are to having their banquet, but it seems like it's around the corner.
It will come very fast for both of you. Dr. Bumpus or Buddy, you tell us about the Central honorees.
Buddy, Milton?
Well, yeah, we have them across a broad range. Billy Hollis, of course, was a great track man here at San Angelo High School and then at Baylor University. Tommy Ford was an All-American at Texas, which would make you very proud.
It does make me proud. It does.
Yeah. But Tommy Ford was also a great baseball player. Nancy Ritchie is probably the most internationally known Bobcat inductee, because she won 69 individual international tennis titles during her career in international tennis. Minton White was a 2-sport star. He was the star and most valuable player in the state tournament for the 63 Bobcat State Championship basketball team, and then also played baseball at the University of Texas. Again, congratulations on that. AZ Drones, 2-sport star. parade All-American in football and played on the state championship 63 basketball team. And of course, David Holtz is our premier Major League Baseball player. He played here at Central and then at Shriner and then for the Texas Rangers. And of course, last but certainly not least is Shea Marin's, another UT star who was a parade All-American in both football and baseball. And then one of my favorite people, Emory Ballard, who was the coach here, who led the 66 team to the state championship, and then coached in college at A&M and Mississippi State. And then I said Emory was my favorite. Blondie Cross would be right up there as well, because he is one of the most unique characters that ever was in San Angelo in the sports arena. And again, like Dan said, if you want to hear the whole story, you need to come to the banquet, because it's going to be exciting. And then 3 great teams, the 43 state championship team, and fortunately several of those guys are still around and are, of all the groups that we're inducting, I think that 43 team is probably the most excited about this happening. And then the 66 Bobcat state championship football team, and then one that many of us had not known about before, except for Stormy Kimry's research. We're inducting them as one team, and that's the 29, 30, and 31 Bobcat track teams that won 2 state championships, and their mile relay team won the national championship in Chicago in 1930. So we feel very blessed to have selected these, although it was a very difficult process. We had 61 individuals nominated and 12 teams, and to come out with these few folks, it was really a hair-pulling contest to get them chosen. So.
Yes, it does come down to, because there's so many that are really equally outstanding. Mm-hmm. But the good news is there will be years that they will still be eligible to get this award. I think what none of us know yet, except maybe you, Mark, because you've experienced this at Mineral Wells, this will be, to me, something that people will look forward to every year. And it's just now, in our newspaper, I think, has done a good job covering this process. And you all, your banquet is when? When are your 2 banquets?
Ours is March the 20th at 6 o'clock at the McNeese Convention Center.
And your tickets go on sale?
Yesterday.
Okay, and what about y'all's?
Okay, ours is April the 10th, and it begins at 6 o'clock as well. We're having ours at the new Lakeview High School.
Good.
In the Commons area, the banquet. And then we'll move to Duckworth Auditorium to have our induction ceremony.
Well, y'all's are just a very few days apart, mm-hmm. and I look forward to attending both. And I hope that people will understand that we want them, people that don't maybe know very many of these, but it's so exciting to be there when folks are honored. Talk to us about the tickets, the price of the tickets. Have you all, since yours are already on sale?
Why don't you go over that, Mark?
Okay. Our tickets are $15, a very reasonable price, and they can be purchased here at the athletic department offices. But also the McNeese Convention Center is marketing our tickets as well, and you can order them online or call in. And so, and it began yesterday.
Okay. And Dan, y'all's will also be for sale here in our athletic office and probably at Lakeview High School.
Right. And we will start our sale next Monday.
Okay.
Since we don't, ours is April the 10th, so we're just a kind of week behind. So the 15th, and ours also are $15 for the banquet.
And I know a common theme is that each honoree will have a vignette, I guess, about what they accomplished, and you all have done considerable research getting pictures, and that's been a story in and of itself, hasn't it? Where you go to get pictures about these folks, and then testimonials about these folks. Probably the neatest job, Dan, you referenced it, are the members of your committee that have gotten to know their honoree very well, and what a moving experience for you all. The reason I was so excited about it, even though this is a first for me for an athletic Hall of Fame, and a prior district we had an outstanding alumni Hall of Fame, and I was on the committee, and I think what I learned over a period of a few years, and I see this already a potential here, is that current young people in our schools will be able to see the pictures that you all are putting in great big frames individually of people, and aspire and want to be up there themselves. And we saw this taking place in this community, that there were people that young people would read a brief biography and go, someone here from this city in my community can accomplish this, then I can as well. And truly the testimonies of young people currently and what that can mean as an inspiration, whether they go to the banquet or not, but seeing the biography of these people as well as teams is what I hope will be a gift to this district as well as community for a lot of years to come. And even though we've rushed you, Dr. Bumpus, to get this accomplished in a shorter period of time, aren't you proud?
We are. It's going to be a great effort, and as you say, meaningful for the community, the entire City of San Angelo School District.
And the people that are coming from great distances, that I've already heard some stories who've already said, I'm there, my family's coming, my children are coming, my grandchildren that will be coming back to our city. This is nothing but a win for everybody concerned. I am so grateful for what you've done, and I hear little rumors about what fun you all have had in your committees. I've heard a lot of laughter going on. And so what a great experience for all of us. I can't thank you enough, and I say that from our community and all the alumni. What you began this year as a first will go on and be so meaningful. Do you have anything else you would like our audience to know about these two great events?
Well, in my, the committee that we have is, Lakeview X is, and they've worked hard, and it's just, I've had people stop me on the street and just say, this is a great thing, and we really thank you for doing that. And of course, it's not just myself, but it's everyone.
Tell us who are on your committees, both of you. Dan, thank you for bringing that up.
Well, Alan Gilbert is one of them. Doug Phillips, you may have to help me here.
Okay.
And Beta, of course, and then Jeannie is our treasurer. Jeannie Bell, thank you. And then we brought in three new ones, and one of them is Joyce Blessing Game. We just met her the other day, and she's a Lakeview graduate.
She was the head cheerleader in 1961.
Yeah.
So we had to have Joyce.
Absolutely.
And then we have Brady Gilbert, and we have Jeremy Bartz, and then Monty Edie is also on our list, and don't want to forget anyone because
I see what y'all are doing. You're getting some younger folks prepared. That's smart.
I am getting them prepared. I want to see the C word in front of their name, chairman.
Chairman.
So, yes.
Who are else on your committee?
Our vice chairman is Billy Hollis, and our secretary is Buddy Peel, and our treasurer is Stormy Kimry, and then Rex Schofield is on the committee, and Jerry Vandergriff. So we've got a great committee. Hard workers.
Well, anything else that you think, I'm grateful Dan brought that up so we could name the committees. Anything else?
I might mention something.
Okay.
In all of our research, which probably so many people already knew though, as we study the lives of these great athletes, we found that so many of them are great students. And consequently, there's a relationship, and they've gone on to be great citizens, great parents, great leaders in their communities, whether it's here in San Angelo or elsewhere. And so that has been kind of therefore it creates a great role model for people to strive for.
One other thing I want to say, and Beta just reminded me, is, we had a committee person that started with us, Rodney Dunlap, and when I asked him, his eyes just lit up, and he just couldn't believe that he was going to be asked to be on this committee, and so he got on it. He ran with it. Every week he was calling me. He says, "How about this kind of money? Would you do that?" And I said, "Sure, I can take anything." And so he would bring in funds. He was our guy that went out there, and then of course we lost him about 3 or 4 months ago, and we sure will miss him and have missed him. And he was a real inspiration to us for this committee. But
well, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
He contributed and left it better, didn't he?
he sure did.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much, and I challenge folks to buy their tickets and attend both of these banquets because Charlie and I will be there.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you all so
you.
much.